Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so for the first question of the day, uh, can you tell us your current position at your workplace?
Okay. Now I am a assistant news editor for the English news desk at TV3. Um, and I'm also a newsreader for Nightline and Bulletin Utama. So, as a assistant news editor for the English desk, that means I prepare all the stories for the English news bulletin. So on TV3, there's only one news bulletin in English, which is Nightline at midnight.
I see. Okay. Okay. So second question.
Hi, Miss.
Yeah.
I am Shafi.
Hi.
I would like to know about your two main job responsibility. Can you please share with us?
Oh, okay. As a news editor or as a news reader?
As above.
Both. Okay. So as a news editor for the English news, mainly I prepare all the news stories for Nightline at midnight. So my working hours is 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. every day. So my whole work schedule is kind of different than everybody else. So since I work at 4 and I finish at 1, so I come in at 4 and see all the main news stories for the day. So usually they already have the news stories for Bulletin Utama, which is at 8 p.m. So I gather what could be like the biggest news items for the day. And then my job is to basically sort of translate, not translate like word for word, but take the news item from Bulletin Utama and turn it into an English script for Nightline News. So that's as a news editor. For so I prepared the scripts, and then everything that you see on Nightline is basically prepared by us at the news editing desk. And then if I go out for assignments, but I rarely do anymore because I'm not a reporter anymore. Since I became a news editor, I rarely go out. But if I do, then go out for assignment, cover the assignment, get back to the office, write out the story, transcribe the video, get the um, sound bites for the interview that I did during the assignment, and then I have to oversee the editing for the story as well until it goes on air at midnight. So those are the two main tasks as a news editor. As a newsreader is actually an additional part of my job. So it's not the core requirement of my job. So I only read news on days where I'm able to, which means if there are more than 2 or 3 people at the English desk, then I can afford to have time to read news on that day. Reading news is usually rostered, so it's usually once or twice a week. And then, as a newsreader, basically my main tasks are doing the voiceovers for the news items. I have to arrive early for makeup and wardrobe, and also for the voiceovers to prepare the promo. And basically, that's it.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay.
Okay, so Miss, for our third question is,
Hmm.
uh, can you share with us example of time when you had to handle unexpected challenges at your workplace, either it's happened during live broadcast or not?
Life challenge. Uh, okay, so there are some instances when you're reading news live that you're reading the script using a prompter. So that's how you can engage with the camera throughout the 1 hour news bulletin. But there are some times where the prompter jams or the script won't come out. So in that case, I have to refer to the iPad, which usually we are holding our iPad. So you have to act fast. You cannot let the audience know that there's a technical problem with the prompter. So that's one of the challenges. Another challenge is usually technical problems. Either the prompter isn't working, or if it's a live crossover with a reporter on scene. Sometimes we're ready for the crossover, and then we talk to the reporter, but then they don't reply. So we have to change our plan quick and then go to the next news story. So I guess basically that's two examples of challenges during on-air broadcast.
Okay, Miss, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Okay.
So,
Okay, hi Miss. So my name is Putra. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say just now, the challenges that you face. So how did you adapt and maintain composure for your job scope?
Mm, okay, so if you want to be a newsreader, you have to be very quick thinking, uh, and very alert at all times. So you always have to, because while you're reading, you also have this audio piece in your ear, and the studio director is giving you directions through the audio piece. So while you're reading, he's giving you instructions like, okay, now cam 2, or now turn to camera 1, or Azaria, lepas ni ada crossover, so get ready. So while you're reading the script, so you have to be alert, you have to know how to do two things at once, and you cannot lose focus. Like sometimes, if you're reading something, then the studio director is saying something in your ear, you might miss it because you're focusing on what you're reading on the script. So you have to be alert. You have to hear the instruction from the studio director about what's coming up next. And if a technical problem occurs, then you have to get ready to get your next instruction from the studio director. So let's say if I'm going for a crossover, and then we're ready to talk to the reporter, and then I say something like, okay, now we're going to hear from our reporter on the scene, but then she or he doesn't reply, but you can see them on screen. So the studio director is going to be the one who's going to tell you what to do. Okay, line tak elok, so kita kena go next story cepat-cepat. And then you have to, even though they give you the instruction like that, you have to come up with the what you're gonna say. So you have to say, maaf, kita ada masalah teknikal. Uh, kita akan kembali dari semasa ke semasa ke berita seterusnya. And then you move on to the next story. Yeah, so stuff like that.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay. Was that okay? Was that answer okay?
Yes, very interesting, Miss.
Okay.
Okay, Miss. My name is Muhammad Syakirin.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask you, can you share your approach to receiving feedback from viewer or college of how do you work and how to self-improve based on their input
Mm, from feedback from students, you mean?
from viewer?
From
or
viewer. Oh,
colleagues?
okay. Uh, so these days it's quite different the way you receive feedback. So when I first started working, at that time, social media, it was already around, but it was just starting. Like Instagram wasn't that famous yet, so people communicate through basically through Facebook, email. I did get a few letters at that time when I first started, about 9, 10 years ago, when I first started reading. So at that time I got letters, mostly fan letters. But these days it's quite different. These days you can read the comments immediately. So every time after a live program, I can just go to the Instagram or the Facebook live or the YouTube live video, and then I can read the comments. So basically I think it's good because you get immediate response to the work that you're doing. And I can pick up stuff from there, like stuff that people wouldn't normally tell me face to face. So if it was like a few years back, during the times when people would send in letters or emails, it would mostly be just fan letters, just to tell you that they like to see you on TV. But now, if you go to Instagram or the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live, you can see the comments that actually comment on the way that you present, or the way, sometimes even the way that you look while you're on air. So I guess it's very good because I get immediate feedback on my presentation. And if it's negative feedback or criticism, I can use it to improve myself for the next time. So if somebody is saying that uh, newsreader ni baca news tapi muka dia tak nampak the emotion when they're reading a serious news or sad piece of news, then I know that I have to convey emotion more next time. So to do that, I have to practice for the next time. So
Okay, thank you,
basically,
Miss.
okay.
Hi, Miss.
Hey.
I'm Rajesh. I'm the one that chat you in the email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
For listening you too. Okay. Question: what inspired you to pursue your career in newsreader or news editor?
mm, I studied broadcasting in UITM. So I always knew I wanted to work in broadcasting field, but I never really had an interest in news per se. So when I started, I um, usually go for. I was a freelancer before this, so now I'm a staff with TV3. So when I was a freelancer, I usually did freelancing stuff. I started out after my practical. I was a broadcast journalist for Astro Awani, and then after I stopped Astro Awani because I got an offer to be a host for RTM. So that's when I started freelancing. So I was a host for Hello On 2 and Selamat Pagi Malaysia on RTM. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to do freelancing as a TV host. And it's okay if I don't have a desk job, a 9 to 5 job. It's okay, because at least I get to do my passion. So I was a freelancer for a few years until one day there was an audition for a newsreader for TV3 after I finished my master's. So I decided to go for the audition, and then when the bosses saw, they were looking for a part-time reader actually. So you can read part-time and you can do something else outside. So for part-time readers, they are usually not from the broadcasting or journalism field. So part-time readers can be, we have a former lawyer, we have somebody who used to do engineering, somebody who studied social politics, and now she's a newsreader. So I wanted to be one of the part-time newsreaders as well, But when the bosses saw my resume and saw that I actually studied broadcasting, so they offered me a permanent position as a staff for the news department. So I didn't study journalism, so I don't have the basic news writing and news reading basics. So I didn't learn that. So I basically learned that on the job. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna take the plunge. I'm gonna accept this job offer, which means I have to stop freelancing. And now I'm a full-time staff with TV Tiga. So that was basically about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. I started working first and then I started reading for TV Tiga. So I learned on the job how to write news stories, how to do interviews, how to do my own editing for my news stories. Mm, and basically that's how I came into this line of work lah, because I wasn't actually looking to become a reporter and a news editor, and then because the bosses offered me because of my background in broadcasting, because they think that maybe I could do this job and they gave me a chance. So I tried it out, and basically I learned on the job, and then from a reporter now I've sort of graduated to become a news editor for the English Chess. So that's how I came to become what I am today.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay.
Hi, Miss, it's me again.
Mm.
For our last question for today,
Mm.
do you have any advice for youngster or student that love to go for broadcasting field, of course?
Okay. So, if you have uh, dreams of becoming a newsreader or working in the newsroom or becoming a reporter, I think the best thing is to have a journalism background. If you don't study journalism in school or university, as soon as you finish your degree, I would suggest that you apply for jobs as a reporter so that you can start out and you can see you can learn how to write news stories and stuff like that, like how I did. So uh, uh, I don't have a background in journalism. I had to study myself while I was on the job. But if you do have a background in journalism, meaning a degree in journalism, or you started out as a rookie reporter as soon as you finish studying, like in the early stages in your 20s, that's a good base for you to go into the news field, either to become a reporter or a news editor or even a news producer in the newsroom. So a journalism background is very good, but if you have a huge interest, then it's not necessary that you have that education background, because as I said, there are some of my friends, um, for news readers you can have various backgrounds. There are some of my friends who are from a law background, from social sciences, from political science, and now they are working as news readers. But there are also a few news producers who come from backgrounds like sports science. So now they are working as a reporter for the sports desk. So it's not necessary to have a journalism degree, but if you have enough passion and enough interest in the field, you can grow and you can also learn on the job, provided that you are open to new experiences and open to learning from your peers and also your seniors in the office. Okay.
Miss, for
Yes.
the so that's it for today. So like as you know, we are required to conduct an interview session with the practitioner
Mm-hmm.
for our introduction to communication apa assignment. Yes.
Mm.
So we can't thank you enough for accepting our request, willing to spend your time with us, and giving us the opportunity to do this interview session.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Sorry that I couldn't turn on my camera. Is that okay?
Yes, I know.
Okay. uh,
No
I,
worries.
I think I need to explain because because of my working hours, so usually I'm not awake yet at this time.
Okay, okay.
So
I understand. Yeah, okay.
yeah, so it's very for people who are not used to working for the nightline desk, they find it very weird that I actually wake up near noon, and then I sort of have like my breakfast at noon, and then I get ready for work, and then I go to work at 4, and then when I come back at 1, that's usually when I have my dinner. So when you have your dinner at about 1 or 2 in the morning, and then you baru nak mandi and get ready for bed and stuff like that. So usually you can only go to bed about 5, 6 a.m. So that's why my schedule is kind of mixed up. So that's why I'm not ready yet at this time. So sorry about that. Hopefully that's okay.
Hey, no, no, it's no problem, miss.
Okay.
So, apa lagi? Okay, dah gambar semua. Okay, miss, thank you so much. That's it for today.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully the interview was okay.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you spending time with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.